earliest French barometer clock was made between 1690 and 1700 by two prestigious workshops. The clock case is attributed to André-Charles Boulle, the appointed royal cabinet maker to Louis XIV. The movement or mechanism and machinery of the clock is attributed to either Isaac or Jacques Thuret, a father and son from the same workshop. The clock face features plain enamel dials, which are stumpy and wide and help to date the clock closer to 1690. The dial at the bottom is the barometer, which was used to measure atmospheric pressure. So, this object was used to tell time and to predict the weather. Interestingly, in French, the word for time and the word for weather are the same, le temps. This clock is lavish and sculptural. You'll notice the many decorative gilt bronze mounts, including the moldings and scrolls, the two sphinxes facing in opposite directions, the two spiral legs at the base, and the tendrils and acanthus leaves. The central mount supporting the clock face is the winged god of time, carrying off a young woman. Featured throughout are patterned inlays of brass and tortoiseshell, known as Boulle marquetry. This clock is unlike other clocks of its day. Indeed, Boulle's late 17th century and early 18th century clocks were revolutionary in design and set the trend for clock making. The earliest French pendulum clocks were basically close imitations of Dutch models, both inside and out. They were simple and upright wooden rectangles, approximately 1 foot in height. There would be a rectangular door on the front, almost entirely filled with glass, with only narrow border around the edge. If there was tortoiseshell in the border, the segmental pediment above might also have tortoiseshell to match. This was the basic formula for the early French pendulum clock. By comparison, Boulle's clock is flowing in shape and very sculptural. What led Boulle to make this stylistic change? He was the appointed royal cabinet maker to Louis XIV, and royal appointments came with certain advantages. Boulle was excused from the traditional guild system in Paris. Under guild regulations, a clockmaker could not make a clock case, but were confined to the movements or the mechanism of the clock. A cabinet maker would make the case, and any sort of bronze sculptural decoration, like the gilt bronze mounts on this clock, would be taken to a separate sculptor. Because Boulle was allowed to conceive his works in whole, he had the liberty to incorporate his background in not only cabinet making, but also in painting, architecture, engraving, sculpture, and marquetry, which is the intricate technique behind this inlaid tortoiseshell and brass that Boulle himself perfected. We might assume that Boulle's autonomy led him to conceive a singular narrative for this clock, treating it as a sculpture. What I believe is emphasized well here is the passage of time, or a sense of continuity and cohesion. In the center, the god of time carries off a youthful lady who looks backwards as she is carried forward. Directly above this group is the clock face, ticking the minutes away. Above that, at the very top of the clock, is a gilt bronze mount representing the eternal flame. In other words, this object visualizes time past, time present, and time future. This French barometer clock is a singular piece of elegant furniture that fits seamlessly in a home, just like a cabinet, a commode, or a table. I invite you to look at other works in the collection by Boulle, which, like this clock, feature brilliant marquetry and gilt bronze mounts.